The standoff in Ukraine continues for the second straight week, with Russia further tightening its military grip over Crimea, taking de facto control despite Western demands that it withdraw. Thousands of Russian troops continue to secure the region. Russia says it's defending the Russian citizens and human rights of people in Ukraine.
О защите самого главного права человека, права на жизнь.
It's a matter of defending our citizens and our compatriots on defending the most important human rights, the right to life.
Meanwhile, the world's 7 major industrialized powers condemned Moscow's violation of Ukraine's sovereignty. The US threatened economic sanctions and even pulling out of the G8 summit to be held in Sochi in Russia coming June.
If Russia persists in this, that the G8 countries are going to assemble in Sochi. That's a starter. But there's much more than that. Russia has major investment and trade needs and desires. I think there's a unified view by all of the foreign ministers I talked with yesterday, all of the G8 and more, that they're simply going to isolate Russia, that they're not going to engage with Russia in a normal business-as-usual manner.
European Union foreign ministers are due to meet in an emergency session in Brussels late on Monday. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon meet Russian Foreign Minister Sergie Lavrov in Geneva on Monday. He said the crisis in Ukraine was the biggest that Europe had faced in this century. US Secretary of State John Kerry is to travel to Kyiv on Tuesday. The NATO, which held an emergency meeting, has dispatched international observers to monitor the situation in Ukraine.
We call upon Russia to honor all its international commitments, to withdraw its forces to its bases, and to refrain from any interference elsewhere in Ukraine. We urge both parties to immediately seek a peaceful resolution through dialogue, through the dispatch of international observers under the auspices of the United Nations Security Council or the OSCE.
With the interim government in Ukraine ordering full mobilization of its security forces and urging for more international support, British Foreign Secretary William Hague is in Kyiv for talks. Even China has appealed for a political solution to the crisis. Russia, however, says it's protecting its interests and those of Russian speakers in Ukraine following the ousting of pro-Russian President Viktor Yanukovych last month. Even as the West threatens economic sanctions and international isolation of Russia, it realizes its military options against Russia are limited. And with the Russians in no mood to back down, it's clear that the standoff would continue in the days to come. As far as the Indians are concerned, they don't have much interest in the region. Therefore, they've kept a hands-off policy and have refrained from taking sides as of now. Amritpal Singh, DD News, New Delhi.